I'm here to talk about what's happening now, of course, as we continue through these transitions into the new reality of now, the place we've already been all the time but didn't know it. Funny how that goes. And it's been quite the journey since January 1. There was quite a swing that evening, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. And some real turnarounds inside myself, some real turnarounds energetically here on this earth. Like a switch in polarity in a mystical sense. The energy by which we vibrate. The frequency, the nature of the frequency changed. Upgraded itself a bit, we'd say, in modern electronic terminology. Which means, yes, that peace on earth is at hand. Though it seems mighty tense and angry out there right now, and nations rising against nation, and people against people, and governments against the people, and people against the governments, and it's pretty crazy times out there, but nothing compared to what it could be. There could be wholesale revolution worldwide right now, and in a sense there already is, but it's the quiet revolution. The kind you can't see coming, you can't see where it's coming from. Unless you're there in the flow of it, then you become a part of it, and it doesn't really matter, because you no longer resist. That's what's happening now, and it's been a little gnarly, a little difficult. There's a lot of letting go going on. And I'm just saying, let's continue letting go. Even of those things we've held dear to our heart and that mean so much to us. It doesn't mean you release them from that heart. It means you just let them go out of the love of that heart holds for them. You can let them be free now. You don't have to hold them. There's no such thing as mine. It's ours. O-U-R-S. Ours. Belongs to everyone because it's in everyone. We're all beautiful, strong, brilliant, brave, beyond imagining, human beings and those beyond too. Coming to understand and see that now. And it can be difficult because we're pretty grounded in our lies here. We're pretty centered in the undersoul of life. That undersoul's a part of it too, so don't neglect it or ignore it, no matter how much. Don't neglect or ignore it, no matter how much it bites you on the ass. You know, you can be at peace with this thing inside that you've always seen as, well, either an enemy or a dark friend. Either way, it's an empty feeling. You basically run yourself from fear and are always having to compensate inside. Make yourself look bigger outside because you're afraid of what others might see if they can see inside. The emptier you feel, the fuller you gotta be, you know? And sometimes that's a really good thing, when it propels you in the right directions. But when it propels you in these other directions, well, that's kind of the right direction, but a roundabout way of being it. You'll get there eventually. The first shall be last, the last shall be first, something along those lines. Not that it makes any difference. But what that means is those with the most, the last to go along, those with the least, the first in line. It's just how it kind of goes. It's reverse of the mentality of economic reality in which we've lived. It's kind of given the bird the magical loving finger, the bird finger with the heart tattooed right there on the nail, man. You know, the bird finger of love, babies. You see what it means? It's all so simple. To just be loving. And watch as you become activated. The light begins to shine within you. The hands begin to glow. And the third eye reconnects with the universe. And you begin to see the divine heart in everything. Well, all I can say is, amen and glory, hallelujah. Babies, the old prospectors finding gold. The old mountain man's coming down out of them hills and ready to party hardy. And he ain't going to no hoe house either. No siree. It's party with the people dancing in the streets and break out the booze and the weed and let's have some fun. See if we can practice experiencing the ecstatic together as one love inside of ourselves, all parts of ourselves perfected in the love of this heart. Which means you give up these concepts of good and evil and you let go of all the bullshit by which we've lived and all the rules that go with them. Because none of it ever made sense anyway. I only did them because that seemed the civil thing to do. We got to be nice to one another, and sometimes, given the circumstances we've lived in, it's pretty harsh. And we needed some regulation. Not so much as we got now. Holy shit. But we're at the place where our hearts can be free now. And each person can ascend in their own time, their own way, as the heart of the universe calls them forward inside themselves. Expect the unexpected now. Expect complete turnarounds. And though in those who were considered totally evil before this time, those who ruled with the darkness, through the darkness, and found their light. It's odd, coyote medicine. From the worst comes the best, the arousal of the largest heart. And this is what it's been seeking after all along, to regain that heart. And it would have destroyed everything to get to it, but it didn't have to. So it didn't do it. And thank God for that. We're all brothers and sisters now on this journey we call life. Living under the motherhood of love we call a universe, which is centered right here inside this Mother Earth and inside every heart that lives inside of her, upon her, and around her. Land of the free to be as the heart has dictated us to be, through the love in that essential source from which all arise. And commit this activity we call experience. Wow, baby. I watched a video of a roller coaster in Austria on a monorail going down a ski slope in the summer. Oh man, a wild ride. Love to build one of those over by Boulder sometime. Beautiful place to be in. But boy, that roller coaster ride. If you haven't seen that on my Facebook page, or maybe I'll include a link for it here at the end of this video so you can find it. So when you're done with this little roller coaster ride with the old man here, you can go take a ride down the mountain on that one. It's a ball, I'll tell you. Virtual can be fun. It's a whole lot safer. Babies, well, this is what we're stepping out of. The wild ride, that is a virtual ride, yet feels so God blessed real. Every ride has its beginning and its end. Some of them are pretty quick, but this has been a nice long ride. Like down a mountainside on a roller coaster. Yes, indeed, it's been like that. But as this ride comes to an end, then we remember what we were before we got on the ride and got so involved in it. And what we've been all the way through the ride. And we didn't change persons, we changed perspective when we stepped into this place. We're still the same person we were before we got on the ride. And now you're going to see that. I'm here to help coach you into that experience in a mild manner as I can find. Hell, if I had to become a stand-up comedian to do so, I guess I could, but I'd have to find somebody new to write my material. This stuff's getting old, baby. Nah, we got the heart of the universe here. If we needed to, we could be whatever we need to be. So hell yeah, these are crazy times. And in the area of relationships, shit. Guys, just deal with it. Get through it. Don't hurt each other any more than you have already. Back off. Live and let love, Yeah, that's right. I said live and let love. Don't interfere with one another. Be friends. And stay out of each other's way for a while. Because there's a great settling going on between the male and female of this particular species called human. And we're about to settle what's been never settled before this time. The bringing back of the divine between those two hearts. And exercising love. So sweet, so similar, yet so far away from us. Until the presence of this time, meaning that all of this misunderstanding disappears with the arousal, the arrival, the awakening of the divine feminine within each and every one of us that lives. Right along with that which is called the divine masculine. Both exist inside of ourself, and both have aroused to a varying degree according to the experiences you've been given, the genetics you've inherited, the spiritual experience you've chosen for yourself here. But it kind of becomes disengendered now. A great settling's taking place inside each and every heart across the face of this earth, even as I speak these words. And it'll go on for a while now. It takes a while to settle such long-held differences, but in relative terms, it's the click of a finger, man. It's done. So don't be surprised to feel the arousal of the sacred within yourself. That's what this moment's all about here on this videotape. That's what this moment's all about inside of you right this moment as you experience it. Or in whatever moment you've chosen to experience it. It's not about gender anymore. Who rules the roost? Doesn't matter. Everybody's loving according to the love that's given within them to receive and share. And it grows from there. So in other words, each is at their own stage and level. Each represents a cell, an atom, a particle inside of a person much larger than this little person that we are, yet each of us is an element in that bigger person just like that. So we each have our unique character and our place of being within the presence of the body, wherever that might be. Might even be a whisker, one of Grandpa's. In my beard here, I mean, you know. Or maybe the hair in a pony's tail. Or maybe an element in the divine dream of an elephant. But our place is deeply appreciated and understood by all who live. And now we step into the elemental place where we simply begin to understand and see that. And that's when, why, where, how we can let go of everything. The stuff we're letting go of now, a good beginning, a good start. The arrival of the new is no longer on its way, it's here. Within us all now, and according to our position in this divine body, then we begin to move into our position quite naturally, guided and directed by the spirit energy of our aware and awakening heart. It's been inside of a cavern, a cave inside of ourselves, covered over by a whole lot of pain. No matter who you are, it's been there. Even in the Dalai Lama. Sorry, baby. No, of course, it's in everybody. You know? And all have chosen to deal with it to varying degrees of success. Here's the success we've all been seeking, including that which has been held its darkness inside of us. It's the enlightenment of the self. That's the new beginning. That's the reality of which we speak. That's the blessing you're beginning to receive. And that's flowing through you now. It'll feel like you're releasing a ton of weight from inside of your chest, and you are. You've held a lot, dear children, and carried it through to the bitter end. So here's where we begin. And this roller coaster ride ain't so dangerous anymore. We've overcome death and turned it into life again. And it's only a short matter of time before it comes into being. Rock and roll will rule your soul when you finally start to get it. Grandpa loves you, babies. Peace. Peace of plenty. Peace on earth forevermore.